before you went to college, how often did you leave Washington, Iowa? Never? Once a year? Once a month?
You mean left Washington more than 10 miles? I mean,
Yeah,
assuming
yeah,
you're
not
going
doing an errand a mile away, but going to Des Moines or going to
probably
Chicago or going to Davenport or...
3 times a year.
Where would you go?
say I'd go to Iowa City once, maybe go up shopping.
And that's an hour away.
2 hours. 45 minutes actually. Des Moines, and probably went there 2 or 3 times to the state fair. A lake north of Iowa City, maybe once or twice in the summer. Now I'm getting into high school.
Sure.
Went up there and swim. A group of us, boys and girls. We did that a couple times this summer, maybe junior, senior year. No, I didn't leave Washington much.
So if we pulled back and looked at a map of the United States and drew a 100-mile diameter, 150 around Washington, Iowa, you hadn't left that circle by the time you went to college. Is that generally right? Or had you gone?
Maybe 3 or 4 times. I remember going to central Missouri once in a grade school for a weekend. Folks went for a vacation.
Rural Missouri.
Rural Missouri, in the middle of, halfway down there.
That's
they
big
rented
change.
a little cabin.
Okay.
I remember out in a boat.
So a couple 100 miles.
And then I remember going to northern Minnesota. Some friends had a cabin there for 4 days, 3 days.
Kansas City,
no.
Chicago, Dallas,
No.
St. Louis.
No. Never. I don't think I ever went to Omaha. Never went anyplace nice. No, stayed within.
You stayed close.
Within 100 miles of Washington, basically,
Wow.
except for maybe that many times. Just didn't go. Then in college, really, yeah, a little bit, but not much.
Traveling football games maybe, or what?
Just a couple. I remember going to Madison, Wisconsin for a weekend, which was memorable.
Pledge skip?
No, just
Sort of like that.
Sort of like that, yeah.
So when you, jumping ahead, when you traveled to Key West, Florida, with Mom to see Grandpa's vacation house sometime in college,
Yeah.
is that the farthest you'd ever been away from Iowa? Because that's 1,000 miles, 1,500 miles
Probably
away.
1,500 miles. Yeah, it is, as a matter of fact. I've been to Chicago by then. No place east of Chicago, no place south of Missouri. West, Denver, I've been there. West Coast, no. Arizona, Texas, no. No. I was
How did you go to
restricted.
Denver, Chicago? Was that by car or by
By
train?
car, by car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. How'd you get to Florida?
Air.
Whoa!
Through my hair.
You married a rich girl.
I did. Went to Waterloo, caught a
Woo-hoo.
plane there, and back in the, I can remember that day, and I still think, TWA, I think it was.
DC-3?
It was bigger than that. And I don't know what it was. This is 1957. Caught this plane, and it was a big one.
It would have propellers though, not
Oh, yeah.
just, yeah.
2-engine probably. But I was in there with 3 other people. And a great big plane, like,
Hold 30,
Well,
40
and-
people, yeah.
50 or 60. And for some reason, the flight was empty. And it's not like today when you have
Yeah.
the places over. And I remember walking clear at the back of the plane and going up 2 or 3 steps, and you sit in the back by the tail, there's a bar back there. I thought, this is the neatest thing I've ever
This
seen.
is
in my
Joyce
life.
Needham. This Joyce Needham's my kind of
Well,
girl.
this is TWA had the sign on, the name on the sign. And I have no idea what kind of airplane that was, but I just remember walking up with this guy who sailed in his middle 40s, and he had a beer there. I thought, Lordy, I have died gone to heaven. This is the way to travel. But anyway, yeah, that's the furthest I've ever gone.
That's funny.
And then we travel after the marriage course finally. But no, as a young kid, I just stayed pretty close. I think time in college, and I had to be doing something. I had to be studying or have a job in the summer, and the money was a problem too, and lack of transportation.